All right, damage from a sandwich, part two. Damage from a sandwich, part two. All right, we had just come from 1 Corinthians chapter 5. We had read verses 6 through 8. I'm not going to read it again. I'm going to focus on the subject matter, right? I'm going to focus on the topic, the title. All right, so when you have a sandwich, right, you have that piece of leavened bread at the top. You have that piece of leavened bread at the bottom. You have everything in between, right? Everybody starts out with that leavened bread at the top. You start out with that in life, okay? That leavened bread represents sin, right? Everybody starts out in bondage under sin, right? Okay, for those of us who have been born again, in the middle of that sandwich, right, we have some good, wholesome things, right? We're going to make mistakes. We're going to throw some, unhealthy, unwholesome things in the midst of that sandwich, in the middle of that sandwich, right? But there's going to be some good things in there too. Now, it's the bottom of the sandwich that's going to have us messed up, okay? The top piece of bread, which represents sin, that's going to cause us some damage. What's in between is not going to cause us as much damage, right? Because the top slice of bread is what represents, the leavened bread is what represents the sin. It's the bottom that is going to take us all the way out and get us in trouble, because you start out a certain way. Everybody starts out in sin, under the bondage of sin. But then you get delivered, right? You have all good things in between. But you're in that end piece of leavened bread. That's what took you out. You died in that sin, okay? You died in that sin. Nobody wants to die in their sins, right? Stay tuned for part 3, the third and final part. Shalom.